Nashville and Atlanta are getting tons of headlines as retirement hotspots, aren't they? But lately, more and more retirees are quietly passing them over and choosing Chattanooga instead. With the retirees that I've helped relocate here, I always ask why. And their answers usually come down to the same thing. It's not just one reason. It's how everything works together. Sure, the no state income tax really helps. And yes, the cost of living is fantastic, but there's something else. There's something that ties everything together, that lifestyle, the community, and the finances in a way that bigger cities just can't match. I'm Chris Roberts, your Southeast Tennessee relocation realtor, and I help people from all over the country set new roots right here in Chattanooga and Cleveland. Want to learn more? Go ahead and grab my free relocation guide below and call or text me anytime. And stick around because in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why Chattanooga and Southeast Tennessee in general might be the smartest and most surprisingly rewarding retirement move that you'll ever be able to make. Now, I'm not just saying this because I'm a real estate agent here. Let me give you some actual data. In 2023, Southern Living Magazine and Investopedia compared 41 of the top rated cities across the entire South for retirement. And guess who came out on top? Chattanooga was #1. And in 2024, the US News and World Report named Chattanooga the best city in Tennessee overall. But here's what really tells the story. According to the Tennessee State Data Center, our state is attracting retirees at rates higher than the national average, and that trend is accelerating. Between 2020 and 2022 alone, Tennessee added 60,000 people to the retirement age population. So the secret, it's getting out. But let me break down exactly why retirees are choosing Chattanooga and why it might be the perfect fit for you too. Okay, let's talk about that elephant in the room, taxes. Because this is probably the biggest reason that retirees are flocking to Tennessee. Tennessee has 0 state income tax. That means your Social Security benefits, not taxed. Those 401k withdrawals, not gonna be taxed. Your IRA distributions, those are not taxed. You might be wondering about your pension though. That's not taxed either. Every single dollar of your retirement income is yours to keep, at least as far as the state's concerned. Now, let me put this in perspective. Let's say you're a couple retiring with a combined income of $80,000 a year from your 401k, pension, and Social Security. If you've lived in a state like California, you could easily pay $3,000 to $5,000 a year in state income tax. North Carolina could be $3,500 a year. And in Georgia, around $4,000 a year, though after the age of 62, you do get some exclusions that boost a little bit higher after the age of 65, where you're gonna get to exclude about $65,000 of your income for tax. So over a 20-year retirement, that's $60,000 to $100,000 that gets to stay in your pocket instead of going to the state. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but Chris, there are other states with no income tax, right? Absolutely. There are 13 states total that don't tax retirement income. But here's where it gets interesting. Do you want to deal with Alaska's brutal winters where it's dark half the year? That's where my wife Megan grew up, and guess what? We live here in Chattanooga now. Florida's hurricane season and that oppressive humidity, or the scorching heat and sky-high property taxes in Texas? Do you want to live in Nevada's desert heat and deal with those water concerns? Tennessee gives you these tax benefits without the extreme weather, constantly impending natural disasters, or isolation. You get 4 real seasons, mild winters compared to the north, and you're not in hurricane or tornado alley. And hey, here's something fun. Your grandkids would think it's super cool that you get to live in a place where their favorite Little Debbie snacks and M&Ms are made. How fun is that for visits? Now, full transparency, Tennessee does have a sales tax. Our state rate is 7%, and with local taxes, it can go up to about 9.75% in some areas. That's one of the higher sales taxes in the country, but here's the thing. You're paying sales tax on what you spend, not what you earn. And for most retirees, That trade-off, absolutely worth it. You have way more control over your spending than you do over your income. So you're saving thousands on taxes, but what does that money actually buy you here? Let's break down the real numbers in the Chattanooga area. The median home price in Chattanooga right now is hovering around $320,000 to $350,000, depending on the neighborhood. Compare that to Nashville, where you're looking at $450,000 to $500,000 for a comparable home. Or Atlanta, you're gonna easily be over $400,000 for a comparable home in certain areas. And if you want to go out to the suburbs here, places like Hickson or Ottawa, or over in North Georgia, like Fort Oglethorpe or Ringgold, you can find beautiful homes in the $300,000 range. That's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a nice yard, a decent neighborhood, close to everything. And I'm licensed in Georgia too, and they do have some nice tax benefits for retirees, like excluding up to $65,000 of your income from state taxes after the age of 65. So when retirees compare all of this to Nashville or Atlanta, it starts to make sense why Chattanooga keeps topping the charts. And utilities here are really reasonable. Your electric bill in the summer might run $150 to $200 for a typical home with AC running. Just this past August for my house, which is a pretty typical 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, our electricity was $160 to keep this whole place nice and cool. And natural gas for heating in the winter is minimal because, again, our winters are mild. Groceries, healthcare insurance, across the board, you're gonna be spending less than you would in the bigger metro. The overall cost of living in Chattanooga is about 8 to 10% below the national average. And compare that to Nashville, which is right now slightly above the national average, and Atlanta, which is right at or above, depending on where you're living in the city. Property taxes in Hamilton County average about 0.65 to 0.75% of your home's value. So on a $300,000 home, you're looking at roughly $2,000 to $2,250 a year. That's significantly lower than many northern states where property taxes can easily be double or triple that. If this is the kind of practical breakdown that you've been looking for, go ahead and hit that like button so that more retirees can find this video too. Now, let's talk about something that's absolutely critical when you're choosing where to retire, and that's healthcare. Because let's be honest, at this stage of life, access to quality healthcare isn't a nice to have, it's a must have. Chattanooga is home to 2 excellent hospital systems, Erlanger Health System and CHI Memorial. Both have outstanding reputations between them, and you've got access to pretty much any specialist that you might need. We've got top-notch cardiac care, cancer treatment centers, orthopedics, wonderful physical therapists like my wife, everything that you would expect from larger cities. And here's a huge plus. If you're a veteran, we have a full VA medical center right here in Chattanooga. You're not driving hours to get to VA care like you might in some smaller towns. And if you ever needed something that is super specialized that we just don't have here locally, you are only 2 hours from Nashville and their major medical centers like Vanderbilt, and about 2 hours from Atlanta, 2 hours from the University of Tennessee at Knoxville as well. So you get the best of both worlds. You get local, quality care for everyday needs and access to those major metro markets when you need it. Okay, so the numbers, they make sense. But what are you actually gonna do here all day long? Because retirement isn't just about saving money, it's about enjoying life, right? So let me tell you, Chattanooga punches way above its weight when it comes to lifestyle. If you like the outdoors at all, you're gonna love it here. We're surrounded by beautiful mountains. You've got the Tennessee River running right through downtown. Hiking, we've got trails for days. Everything from easy riverside walks to some more challenging hikes. We've got places like Lookout Mountain, Signal Mountain, and the Cumberland Trail. And for biking, we have the Tennessee River Walk. It's a beautiful paved trail system that is perfect for casual rides. How about kayaking, fishing, or boating? The river is right here, and Chickamauga Lake is renowned for its fishing. And here is a really important point. You're not driving hours to get to nature, it's literally everywhere. You can learn more about how Chattanooga became the first national park city in the country with this video right here. But it's not just outdoor stuff. Downtown Chattanooga has really come alive in the last decade. And we've got the Hunter Museum of American Art, the Tennessee Aquarium, which is world class, by the way, live music venues, excellent restaurants, farmers markets, festivals throughout the year. There's a real art scene here. With community theater, the Chattanooga Symphony Orchestra, and beautiful galleries, you can stay as busy or as relaxed as you want. And here's what a lot of my retiree clients tell me they love the most: that piece that makes this puzzle complete. Chattanooga has that perfect balance. It's not boring or isolated like some small retirement towns can be. There's always something to do. But it's also not the chaos of Nashville or Atlanta. You know what I mean? You can get downtown in 15 to 20 minutes from most areas. There's no sitting in gridlock traffic for an hour. 10 minutes? Maybe. You're not dealing with the stress and the noise of a major metro. You can actually enjoy a quiet dinner out without fighting the crowds. You can go to a grocery store on a Saturday morning without it being this whole production. Now, on Sundays after church gets out, be prepared for that and maybe do that shopping early on Saturday mornings. It's peaceful here, and at this stage of life, that peace of mind is priceless. Now, let's talk logistics for just a quick second. Chattanooga has its own airport, the Chattanooga Metropolitan Airport. It's small, easy to navigate, and offers direct flights to several major hubs. But here's the bonus: if you need more flight options, Nashville's airport, less than 2 hours away, and Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson, one of the busiest airports in the whole world, less than 2 hours away. You see the theme? So if you're going out to visit your grandkids, that's no problem. And they don't have any excuse to not come and visit you. And speaking of family, Chattanooga's location is ideal. We're right on the Tennessee-Georgia border in the heart of the Southeast. You're within a day's drive from most major cities in the region. A lot of my clients, they chose Chattanooga specifically because it put them closer to their adult children and grandkids who are scattered across the South. It's the perfect central meeting point. And now look, I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't mention a few of the challenges. It's way too easy for me to keep these rose-colored glasses on all the time. The growth. Chattanooga, it's been discovered. And before I hear about it in the comments, it's not all my fault. We're growing, and with that growth comes some traffic. Now, it's nothing like Nashville or Atlanta, but it's not the sleepy town that it was 20 years ago. And then there's the summer humidity. The summers, they can be a little bit rough sometimes. If you're coming from somewhere dry like Arizona or Colorado, that's going to be an adjustment. Though honestly, with air conditioning, it's pretty manageable. And we don't have a robust public transportation system, so you're gonna need a car to get around comfortably. And we don't have major professional sports teams or huge concert venues like you'd find in Nashville or Atlanta. We do have, though, some pretty extraordinary intimate venues like Soldiers and Sailors. And when the Tivoli is finished with its renovations, that is going to be an extraordinary experience. So for bigger events, you might be making a drive. But here's my take. No place is going to be perfect. For most retirees that I work with, the benefits here outweigh these by a mile. So let's bring this back to the title of this video. Why are retirees choosing Chattanooga over Nashville and Atlanta? Nashville is just more expensive. The housing is 30 to 40% higher. You've got heavy traffic and congestion, and it's going to be more crowded with a faster pace. Still has the no state income tax benefit, but you're going to be paying more for everything else. Atlanta, it's even more expensive in some desirable areas. It is notorious for having awful traffic, some of the worst in the country. Now, Georgia does have a state income tax, though it's relatively low, and as I've mentioned before, there's gonna be some exclusions after the age of 62, and then even more after the age of 65. It's a much bigger metro, which is gonna mean more stress and more complexity. At Chattanooga, it's gonna have those same state tax benefits as Nashville, much lower cost of living than both those cities, all the amenities that you need without the chaos, better access to outdoor recreation, and just an easier, more peaceful lifestyle. Essentially, you're getting 80 to 90% of what Nashville and Atlanta have at 60 to 70% of the cost with 25% of the stress. So there you have it. That's why retirees are choosing Chattanooga. It's the taxes, it's the cost of living, it's the weather, it's the lifestyle, it's the peace of mind, and honestly, it's that perfect sweet spot where you get everything that you need without the headaches. Now, if you're seriously considering Chattanooga for your retirement, I would love to help you explore the area and find your perfect home. I love helping retirees make this transition, and I know exactly which neighborhoods fit different lifestyles and budgets. Go ahead and click that link in the description to grab my free relocation guide, and call or text me anytime and we can set up a quick discovery call. We can talk about your specific needs, your timeline, and I'll give you my honest take on whether Chattanooga is the right fit for you. And hey, if you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I create content like this every week to help people relocate to the Chattanooga area and make smart real estate decisions. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you find your best life right here in Southeast Tennessee.